We're going to go ahead and open up our foods website index again. So it should be in your recent files. And if not, you can always go to open on the left. You can navigate to your Digital Design 1 folder, into your foods website, and open up your index. If your file is not named index, you need to stop right here, right-click it, rename it, and name it index. It needs to be named index because that is what the homepage is called of your website. Every homepage of every website is called index. If you named it something else, stop here and rename it. It is very important. I'm then going to open that up, and so far I should have my HTML from my CodePen in here. And then what we're going to do is we are not going to do an internal style sheet where we put a style tag up in the head. Instead, we're going to create a new CSS file, and we're going to link it as an external CSS and have it apply. This makes it so that our HTML and our CSS are kept separate from each other. We don't have to figure out the coding and switching between them. We just know in HTML file, we code HTML. In the CSS file, we code the CSS. Plus, it can cascade. So as we make the same tag over and over again, like for H1s, they all look the same because it's cascading through all of them. So to do this, we first need to create a file. We're going to go to File, and we're going to go to New. We're going to choose a CSS file and hit Create, just like we did the last time. We're then going to go ahead and save it because right now it has not been saved. So we're going to go File, Save As, and you need to make sure, number 1, you're in the Foods website file folder. Number 2, you can see the index. And number 3, that you name this correctly. So I'm going to name this Foods _ Style Sheet. No spaces, no capitals. I'm then going to go ahead and hit Save. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my CodePen. I'm going to take all of my CSS for this layout that we created for our Foods website, and I'm going to select all of it, copy it, Control-C on my keyboard, go down into Dreamweaver, and paste it. That then has all the coding that I need and calls upon each of the tags that are in my index. I'm then going to save this, so File, Save, because it now, to get rid of that asterisk, and I'm going to close it. Once I've closed it, I should just be in index.html. Inside the head tag, we are going to create the link to link the external style sheet. So I'm going to go after the title. I'm going to create a link tag with a close backslash at the end because it's a standalone tag. And then if you recall, there are 2 attributes you need to use. The first attribute is what relationship does this link have? What are we linking? And number 2, where can they find the file? Where can the computer find the file to link it? So REL for relationship, =, open quotation marks. We're linking a style sheet. Then href, telling the computer the hyperlink reference of where it can find the file. And you should see foodstylesheet.css right there. Remember, it needs to be spelled exactly the same as the way the file is spelled when you saved it. I'm then going to see that automatically all of my semantic elements have been coded to look exactly like they did in CodePen. And you should have a food style sheet now right here. Hit Control-S to save. If you have 2, remember the trick is to close this after you saved it and reopen it, and then it should only have 1 and everything should update. It's just a little glitch in Dreamweaver sometimes. Now that we've done this, we have now created a web page, a full page, not like a layout in CodePen. No. You've created an actual page. It's an actual HTML file with an actual linked CSS. And you have the code, the HTML, the head, the title, and the body that all create the actual page structure. So what does this mean? This means that we can open it in a browser, not using CodePen. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is you need to open up a File Explorer window on your computer. Okay, you need to navigate to wherever it is that you put your digital design folder. So I'm going to go to my digital design 1 folder. I'm going to go to Foods website. If you have Google Chrome as your default browser, it should open directly in Google Chrome. So if I go here and I open up my index, it's going to open it inside Google Chrome on one of my 16 windows that I have. And there it is, a full web page, no CodePen. It's got your entire page. Now, here's the deal. This is very important. You cannot send this to me. Here's why. This is a file on your computer. This is not on the web. This is not a URL to an actual website that I can see. This is a URL to a file. Notice it says file. It's going to my C drive on my computer, into users, L. Sylvius downloads, Digital Design 1. Notice my little spaces coming in as 20%, percent 20s, terrible. Okay, and then foods website, inside that folder, finding index.html. Do not send me these URLs. These are pointless. I can't see anything with this. So please don't ever send me a URL that looks like this. But what is important is you've created a file. You've actually created 2 files. And you have an actual web page. Now, it's not on the web and it's not visible by everybody yet, but it will be in the future. I just want you to be very sure about what you've created, because this is very different than CodePen creating a frame showing us what we've created. We actually have our own file now. So what you need to do is go ahead and send some screenshots to me. Remember, when you do this, you want to include the name of the file. You want to include the preview if you can, or portions of the preview, your coding, and don't forget to also do your CSS as well.